What a good morning this is. I have been anticipating being with you here for months now, and my joy is running over. So many of you began embracing my son Charlie and me long before we arrived, with your warm notes of welcome and kind offers of support in our transition to this beautiful new town and this church home. So I begin with a word of thanks to all of you, my colleagues, Peter and Justin, to Jennifer and Jewel, and to the whole staff, Jill and the building committee doing so much to make our house ready, to Beth, to Megan and Rob and Laura and Jan and Syra and Lynn, and especially to Ed, who has allowed my son to trail along in his shadow on a daily basis, and to all of you for your prayers, your welcome, your invitations, and the gracious love you have extended to our family. And this past week, I have also witnessed your great love for one another, born out of great sadness, with the deaths of two people beloved by this community. How the forces of life can blindside us, and what an indispensable force in return is our love for one another. Thank you all for this witness. Only 1 year ago, Charlie and I left New York, the city I passionately love and was sad to leave after almost 25 years. We moved into a new house in Colorado to settle into a cozy closeness to my parents and my family who all live there. I had been harboring every intention not to return to full-time ministry for a while. 12 years into the priesthood, having held positions at 2 great parishes and 1 school, I wanted to be a priest outside the box. I wanted to write. I wanted to make my altars to God in the world, to borrow Barbara Brown Taylor's great phrase. I was full of expectations and intentions to make a new home there for the foreseeable future. I had it all planned out and literally put my money where my mouth was. But as the great prophet John Lennon sang, life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. Instead, in many ways, the year presented me with setbacks and frustrations and more questions than answers as I tried to settle into that new life. And then, by grace, a phone call. A call from Peter last April to explore joining the clergy staff here. Many prayers later, I had an inkling in that earliest conversation it might just be the beginning of a beautiful friendship with St. Mark's Church. My mind and heart began to open in ways I had never experienced. And now here we are at that beginning. And for that, I am so excited and so grateful. And against my usual instincts, I am not arriving here full of plans and possibilities and ideas, but rather very much open to all that might unfold in our life together. But enough about me. Unlike my relationship with you, St. Mark's Church, and our happy start, the relationship in St. Mark's Gospel between Jesus and the hapless Syrophoenician woman gets off to what anyone would call a rocky start, an abysmal start. The way Jesus talks to her, to our modern ears, it seems over before it can begin. This woman, a mother desperate to find help for her demon-possessed child, comes on her knees, begging him to heal her little girl. At first pass, it's really hard to swallow the harshness of his words to her. Let the children be fed first, he snaps. It's not fair to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs. Granted, all tone is lost in print. I probably got it wrong right there. The way an email in all caps makes you think someone is shouting at you, even if they're not. So we don't know how Jesus really sounded, and we never will. But we do know that the woman replies to the master teacher at his own level. Even the dogs under the table get the children's crumbs. Touché. Her quick wit and deep confidence that he will come around win the day. And for saying that, he heals her daughter without even lifting a finger. Jesus is convicted instantly by her mere courage to speak the truth. The challenge is when we wrestle with Scripture and the stories and the teachings of Jesus are always to honestly enter into the story and listen to our own emotional responses and test the spirits. That is, test our own level of discomfort, Where are we most agitated, challenged, encouraged, or confronted by the stories we read?